and welcome to The Light Renegades. My name is Starr. If this is your first time here, you might want to start at a different message. We have two messages in one today, and it is a continuation from yesterday's message, which is in the Brit series. So if you find yourself here, you want to watch the one before today, and then come back to part two, which is this message. Hello to those that are in real time. I have calmed down. I've come to a space of equilibrium, and yeah, I feel ready for the next stage, what's going to come. And I did manage to get some more time with teams today, and of course, no surprises to me, I didn't get a full answer that I was hoping for. But you will understand that once I read the message from the GA, which is the Galactic Federation of Light. They're fractal of us. We call them the Galatic Alliance over here on our channel. And I do have a continued message from Brittany Murphy from yesterday as well, explaining an awful lot, and she goes in straight away, so trigger warning on this. And yeah, there are some conclusions that I kind of come to on my own, which I find really interesting. And yeah, a massive loophole in this system of starhood, of Hollywood, and everything else that's going on in between. But today's message was just titled, "This is Brit and the GA Respond," because I feel like it's wrapping up a massive chapter of things that have been really open-ended for us for a real long time. So yeah, thank you everyone for your patience and for sticking with us Light Renegades. We know it hasn't been easy, and it has not been light over here, the topics that we've gotten into, and you know, it's all for a purpose, but we understand that it's been quite a lot for the mental psyche and yeah, the emotional, physical, and you know, effervescent body that we all have at this moment in time. But Brit's message started with, "Hello dear ones, thank you again for your patience with us all. It's been a trying time, and we know many of you have lots of questions. Firstly, I would like to expand on yesterday's message regarding Hollywood and your celebrities. Contracts are made, deals are signed, and lives are chosen. Souls step forward and they decide whom out of their friendship group, their family, their surroundings will be made as a sacrifice. We know by now this will not shock many of you. However, there is another layer to this contracting. You are given a date, a place, and how you will come to your end. This is where it becomes incredibly heinous and the darkest. If you abide by certain rules and regulations, that time frame can be extended, can be made shorter if you do not complete said tasks through your lifetime. Have you ever heard a song and they say, 'bound by the devil'? No rest for the wicked is a complete and full statement. This is where it becomes confusing, as within some timelines, this is where the reptilian order has infiltrated. They have used this format to manipulate for their own gain, which is to feed and to gain control slowly but surely. There are two specific pathways happening at the exact same time, that of pure darkness, that of the reptilian order, and those that peddle both of the spectrum in many ways, the figureheads and your celebrities, your stars. They are all under some awareness as to what exactly they are involved in, but many are not, and running on autopilot for the demons and for the reptilians. There is so much to take in here, so please go easy. I will remind you, we are all wishing to remind you, that this is not something to fear, as you have control over your own lives and well-being. Psychic attacks can and may happen, but the light and the light that lives within you, especially now, is brighter and more powerful than any other entity or being of darkness that you may come into contact with. This is why all of the information is coming to light now. As the light is coming to the forefront of all existence, the darkness is being pushed out, the reptilian order is being pushed out, and of course, they will not go down without a fight. Which means those of light will be targeted. You have all been here to witness this, dear one, and what she has gone through. Many of you have had your own experiences, though some this is yet to come. We bring this forward now so that you can be aware and know exactly what to do when you come into... We bring this forward now so that you can be aware and that you know exactly what to do when a being of such shadow appears before you in the dream time, in the waking time, in the in-between. There is a loophole to all of this, the entire structure. You must make sure to not fear death. For the fear of the absolute is what makes these beings in control and able to control another. Stars fear immortality, death, not being in the limelight. the center, because at their core, like many of you, they felt like they came here to shine. I will leave you here for today, but I will be back tomorrow. And this answered a lot of questions that I had. And at some point in this journey of exploring, the darkness and all of what this kind of meant, this dark energy, I realized that a lot of it was always targeted around, living forever. And that being something that is incredibly feared by many of these people that, practice in the dark arts, or wish to create a space for them to, be engaging in such acts as to make them younger or reverse aging. And I feel like at its core, it's been about the fear of death and this idea of not having faith in something. And this is a message that was coming through time and time again, is that if you don't have faith in something, then the darkness has already won. And I've witnessed this in, many people's lives, and including mine. At some stage in my journey, I didn't have faith in anything, and I only saw darkness. And that was when, it truly took its grasp and hold over me for such a long portion of my life. And to have hope and have faith in something of other. And I think this is, definitely where religion has come into play and been a massive help in so many people's souls exploration and journey, 100%. But I think we're coming to a point in the journey where we are meeting those souls where, people were outcast by certain religions, certain doctrines and ways of living, which is why they've turned to this other side. And, they are dabbling in things which they truly have no understanding of and truly don't actually believe in. This is something that I've been witnessing, at least. And, if you don't believe in things of light, how can you truly believe in things of darkness? And I've seen, some people kind of dabble in the other and not truly believe it or understand it. And they are coming to a time where they're meeting what they have been calling into existence. And, it has shocked them. It has scared them. It has made them realize that all of this is real. And I think that is the point that we're all coming to in this journey. And, those that have been walking the path of light, if you haven't been met with any form of darkness yet, you will, and you will have to go through that to, break free from this paradigm that we find ourselves in. And again, just to reiterate, this is not something to scare you. This is not something you should be afraid of. Although I will hands up say that it has been absolutely terrifying at times, this journey. And I'm grateful to have the faith that I do in myself and in my teams of light. And I know many of you out here, you have such strong faith in yourselves, in, the love that is around you from many different beings and your religions, if that's what you are still, focusing on at this time. So use that as your harness moving forward if you feel like you are yet to be met with shadow aspects or, this darkness. Because it will make itself aware to you. And this is one to test if you can be, corrupted and taken to the other side. The darkness loves to do that. It likes to see if it can take its hold over you. And, to see how much faith you have in yourself and in your journey. And this is something that I feel is tested time and time and time again. And, there has been many times on this journey where I've said to teams of light, what is going on? I don't understand. And I've realized I've been coming to the point of being tested, against the opposite end of this paradigm. And as each stage of this journey progresses, I'm put back into almost a space of like complete 3D-ness in my energy. And, all of this life just seems completely chaotic to me, just seems completely, like insanity to me. And I have to pull myself back and remind myself that this is my life, and something that all of us light renegades say on a daily basis, that we have to pinch ourselves where we find ourselves right now in our journey. Because I've always known there was other in my life, but where we are right now, the magnitude of everything that we are doing is just completely out of this world, and I couldn't be more grateful for it all. But there has been, a lot of real sad messages brought forward today. This idea of people signing contracts and then, being given a date of their death, which to me just feels the most horrific, and having to abide by certain rules, and that being extended or cut short if you don't make timelines of creating art in some ways. Music industry, having contracts within the music industry, I've started to realize is such a real dark pathway to have followed. And you know, this has been throughout time, that this has been a continuous cycle of signing a contract and not knowing exactly what you are signing. And there is more to come. There is more to be expanded upon within this realm. But I feel grateful that Brit has brought forward such a cohesive understanding at the most basic level. I think it gets incredibly expansive, you know, trying to understand where the reptilian order comes into all of this. And this is where my mind was blown with all of this, because I couldn't make the two bits meet. And now I know, you know, there is two lanes, but they do cross over. And the reptilian order have hijacked some of this darkness to suit for, you know, for their own gain and what they were wanting moving forward. And either end of the spectrum, there is just an energy that's wanting to rule everything is the main thing, and that is not of light. So if you are very confused, just remember that they just don't want the light to be winning, and that is all that you need to really understand and know, that you are a light being and you are in total full control of yourself. And you know, something that I said in the grips of all of this like satanic energy was that even if you killed me on the spot right here and right now, I know my soul is pure and I know where I go, and you still do not get to take me. And you know, that was something that felt so powerful for me to say out loud and to truly believe. And you know, nothing happened to me. You know, I've gone through psychic attacks. It has been challenging. It has been, yeah, terrifying at times, but I knew that I'm supposed to be here and I'm here for a reason, and all of us are here for a reason. We all deserve to live a full and, you know, prosperous, happy life. And these beings have come in to hijack that from us, because some of them aren't fully in the understanding of why they are doing what they're doing. That comes from the origins of a whole different space. And others have just been following what they were created to be. And yeah, that's where it gets incredibly expansive. And some things, you know, I find it very difficult to still process, even though I'm of the most of the full understanding of what is happening. It just boggles the mind, because I'm still human, you know, I still hold a human vessel, and we are still expanding. So please go easy, everyone. There is a lot that's come forward through Brit. Again, she says it so smoothly, so sweetly, so succinctly that it almost gets missed. So please do watch this channeling again. But now we move on to part 2, which is part 2 of the message from the Galactic Alliance from yesterday. So for those that are in real time, you will know what this is about. This is about another fraction of existence that we haven't been experiencing yet, that I've been feeling. All of us light renegades have been feeling this other aspect that feels a lot more I guess galactic in its essence, and a lot sooner than this path of the ascension and the 5D expanse of the planet. And this is what the GA kind of go into today. And this is the only amount of information that I've gotten behind the scenes, everyone. I wish to stress that, and I would always come forward with total transparency. And you know, I would say something's come forward and I couldn't share it, I'm not allowed to share it, I would say that to you, but this is as much information as I've been given. And the GA started with, "Hello, light ones. After yesterday's message, we know that there will be many questions. The main understanding that we would like to stress is that if yesterday's message was for you, you will just know. In your heart, you will feel it, and after today's message, this will not be spoken of again on this channel in a public setting, and you will forget that this even came to be. For those that this message applies to, call to us, say that you are willing to hear the calling, and you'll be given direct instructions on moving forward. You'll be given a sign, and you will know exactly what to do. This is a positive step forward in a timeline of evolution that is yet to be accessed, and this is the point which so many of you have been feeling and knowing in your hearts to be for you. That being said, if this is not your path, your life will be filled with so much joy and adventure, you will not miss this part. This next phase, you will experience it all in its entirety in your own real divine right time. This is a timeline leap in the most simple of terms. We hope that you can understand and know that the path you are on is exactly what it needs to be and should be for you in this incarnation in your soul's evolution. Remember, if this is for you, ask in your heart and say you are willing to accept this next part of your journey, and you will see. All of our love, the GA. Messages from us will resume as normal, so we shall speak to you oh so very soon." So you will know if yesterday's message was for you. It will be an overwhelming around sound of yes, you know, and if it's not for you, you will forget that this has even been spoken about, and you will live, you know, your existence, and it will be the most beautiful existence for you, the most aligned existence for you. And do not be disheartened by this. you know, I think it's easy to hear of other and immediately feel like we want that because we are experiencing challenges where we are, but know that you know, we will pivot and we will be met with challenges, and you know, perhaps even more than you are ready to experience right now. And that is definitely something, you know, that I've been made aware of. And you know, I think this is to answer some people out there when, you know, they might see this message. And I've had this question too, you know, and they say, why you? Why the Light Renegades? And you know, I would always like to share that I'm not just this vessel that you see. You know, I resonate as being a Pleiadian Starseed. I've seen many other lifetimes, many other parallel timelines that I'm in where I'm not this vessel that you see. And you know, I am, one, a lot stronger than I look. Two, I'm not this. I'm not this physical form. I am, you know, an extraterrestrial entity. And that means that I have many different aspects that I'm able to bring forward for this next leg of the journey. And you know, I've been in imposter syndrome this whole entire journey. I very much feel like I don't know exactly what is happening. All of us Light Renegades have felt, you know, very much out of our depth, but we know at our soul's call, this is us. This is why we are here. This is why I'm in full existence. And my whole entire life has been about this precise moment, this exact pivot into the next stage, everyone. And you know, I have lived a life that has been not the worst by any stretch, but it has been painful. And I've watched many people, you know, come and go from my life, seemingly living a much better life than I was living, and just feeling very confused and on the outskirts and very much in the grasp of all of this darkness, all of this dark energy. And I have fought, you know, really hard to continue to be alive and continue to be here. So to those, you know, I like to call them naysayers and poo-pooers at this point, you know, I will not apologize for who I am. I will not apologize for being a Pleiadian Starseed. I will not apologize for being an extraterrestrial. I will not apologize for all the dimensions that I get to experience and to express through this channel with my fellow Light Renegades, with my fellow Pleiadians, because we came here for a reason. And actually, I fought really hard to be here. We have free will. I kept saying yes to this journey. I kept fighting for my life every single day. And I'm here and I'm grateful. And, you know, I never take any part of this journey for granted. But I also know that I deserve it. And I'm going to walk with all of this with love in my heart for absolutely everyone. But I will not feel guilty for stepping forward and saying yes to, you know, my mission and my purpose. So for those that, you know, they have negativity around us, the Light Renegades, me and personally particularly, this just isn't your space. And, you know, I send you off with so much love, but I deserve to be here, and I'm going to accept that, is what I want to share. But I think that's all from me today, everyone. I hope that this has made sense to you. Lots coming through from Brit, and yeah, very simple messages. I wasn't expecting messages to be so simple. And if you do have questions, do not hesitate to shoot those over to us Light Renegades. And yeah, I'll be back very soon, back with Brit tomorrow, everyone. So yeah, more to come from her. I wasn't expecting that. So yeah, looking forward to that. And yeah, just feel into the present moment and be so appreciative of where you are in your journey and love every inch of this journey. You know, I'm really trying to work through accepting every part of this, because everything comes in cycles. So when it's great, you know, I'm going to experience the great and love it. And when it's a little bit more challenging, I'm learning to just experience and love the challenge of it and know that the pendulum will swing again. And that's to those, you know, might be at a low ebb right now, might be feeling very confused about what is happening in your life. Remember that it will always switch to the positive, and you know, that pendulum goes back and forth. There's things that we must go through for soul's evolution. It is incredibly painful. I'm not taking away any of that, but it's here for a reason, and it's real hard to feel it in that moment. But you will be smiling again, is what I want to share. And many of you have witnessed me go from all ends of the spectrum. And yeah, I'm grateful for every single one of you here. Those of you that are massive supporters of the channel, we couldn't be more grateful as Light Renegades. And yeah, really excited for everything that's to come, you know, on both ends of the spectrum, both timelines. The timeline jump forward and where we find ourselves now, we'll be continuing with, you know, the channelings as usual. And yeah, it will be business as usual, everyone. So do continue to show up, because there are messages for you here. There's much more coming forward from all of us. And yeah, some really exciting things we've had in the pipeline for a real long time, and it feels like now we can finally get to those stages, because we know that this other bit is also existing, so we can put things into balance, which we have been waiting for yeah, a few months now. And it's been very back and forth. So Anna Maria and myself are incredibly elated to be making steps in the right direction, because we felt like we were ready, but you know, divine right timing with all of that. But I'll be back tomorrow, everyone. Take care, rest easy, you know, listen to this message a few times. There is a lot in here, and yeah, look after your mental psyche, look after your physical vessel, and look after your energetic body. Most of all, if you do feel the calling to be working with any of us Light Renegades, do not hesitate to reach out. That's exactly why we're here. But yeah, I'll speak tomorrow, everyone. Take care.